Welcome back to Majestic Mayhem. I'm Death Dealer,
And I'm Pink Pickles.
and we had some technical difficulties, but we're here.
Yes.
It happens. So, how was your week?
Okay.
Oh no, what happened?
So, you know how we always talk about how when you get started and then you can, we're trying to watch the chat and then you can hear it coming through the other window? So
Yeah.
I can totally hear it coming through the window, but it doesn't have the little, mute button on the top. So whatever you just said, I totally missed because I was hearing two things and, panicking in my head of, oh gosh.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
How was your week?
Oh, boy. It was good. It was, well, I had the plumber come, had to replace my water heater, so that was sad paying that bill. Um, and then I don't know, I wasn't feeling good. I thought I was getting sick, and then I slept for like 15 hours and I felt better. So, yeah, so well worked out.
Well, that's good. At least you get
Yeah.
sleep.
Yes.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
So,
And then now it's snowing outside. We're not supposed to get much snow though. But then tomorrow is going to be, I think it said 47, which is good because then I don't have to shovel. Because I'll just leave when there's snow, and then by the time I come home, it'll all be melted. It's my plan.
I'm sorry.
And I hope it works out.
47's good.
Yeah, in February, 47's amazing.
That's terrifying. That is absolutely horrifying.
That's pretty warm for February. Oh, they downgraded. It's only gonna be 45, is what they're now. But I'm hoping that means I don't have to shovel. I just don't wanna. I'll probably half-ass shovel in the morning is what I'll do. Just that way, if it doesn't completely melt, then, at least I got one little pathway. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's too comical. I mean, I say that as someone who's been dealing with like 60, 50-degree weather, and I've been miserable. I'm so excited because actually, as a matter of fact, the weather the rest of the week's not that bad. It's 66 right now, which is pretty nice actually. That's kind of just like shorts and t-shirt weather.
Mr. X-Men says it's gonna be 51 in Chicago tomorrow. This is like for February. That's like unheard of.
That's
so. Like I said, I'm just hoping. I don't want to shovel. I don't know how much snow we're getting. It was only dusting when I came down here. They said we're only supposed to get 1 to 3 inches, so I hope that I'm in the 1 inch range because then it'll definitely melt. If I get 3 inches, I don't think it'll melt. But not totally melt. I'll have to shovel a little more. But
I wear shorts tomorrow. It's going to be 75. Yes. I miss wearing. Listen, we don't really have much in the way of winter clothes. We've discussed this. We don't have real winter clothes in what little we do have. So I'm excited to wear shorts and a tank top tomorrow and flip flops. I'm definitely wearing. I'm so tired of wearing.
The cold, whatever, I can handle it. I don't want the snow. I really don't. And my whole goal is to not shovel. So we'll see. We'll see how much snow I get, and we'll see what my plan is in the morning.
Yeah, I hope
not.
I hope it's easy and it's just walk out nice weather. That is my hope for you.
I hope so too. Or if it just days of dusting, honestly, I'll just use my leaf blower. If you have just a little bit of the really light powdery snow, you could just use a leaf blower and blow it off the stairs and driveway. That's my favorite thing to do. It's simple.
You wear shorts in 50-degree weather. I wear as much clothing as possible.
You bundle up.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Although, I'm sure if I lived in it long enough, my
you gotta show the cup that you're drinking out of here.
It is not Lysol. It is my new favorite cup that my favorite baby sister got me. It is the best thing ever. It has Whoever made this had a lot of detail in it, because I mean there's directions for use, there's where to use, works great for, and active ingredients. This is like the best thing I've ever seen. And the barcode is perfect. Perfect. I'd read it to you guys, but I'm positive this would get like banned. I'd get booted and probably like never allowed on the internet again for this cussing's bad for you. Violence is okay, but cursing's so bad for you. Although they what was Facebook doing? They make everything black and white when it's blood. I don't know what that's about. Talk about soft generations. I didn't say that though. But I'd rather drink Lysol than eat Tide Pods. Just say. Although that'd be an awesome cup, not even gonna lie. I'd get that cup too. A laundry detergent cup. Yeah, I might have to look into that. That's fun.
I totally forgot that people ate Tide Pods.
I don't think people ate Tide
True.
Pods.
I bet you one person did as like
Yeah.
a joke, and then it became a thing. I just loved all the memes. Like I saw a meme. It was a pizza with all the like melted Tide Pods on the top. Like, yeah, I just love when people make fun of stuff.
Yeah, I don't think anybody actually ate Tide Pods. I think people expected someone to, and I don't think anyone ate it. It's just like there's so many things that people have said, "Oh no." It's one person doing it, and the story just gets run into the wild.
I mean, physically, I don't even know if you could eat a Tide Pod, quite honestly, because would you be able to chew through the coating of it? And I know it's supposed to break down in water, but it doesn't break down immediately. Like, it gets slimy, right? Because if your hands are wet and you touch it, it gets all slimy. But, right, if you were to actually put that in your mouth, how long would it take for it to break down? And maybe the, like, part that covers the actual detergent one, but, like, the outside part, it seems to be a double layer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to test it, but I'm just curious.
I would think it wouldn't be that easy. You'd have to be extremely determined to eat a Tide Pod. I would think eating a one of the tablets for a dishwasher would be much easier and much quicker. I mean, it's harder, but probably might break a tooth. But I mean, if it's for a cause.
So I'm saying, Frank, though, can you even bite it? Because can your teeth puncture whatever that coating is? How easy is it?
They're kind of flexible. I mean, they don't really puncture very easily. I've used them.
Yeah, they're flexible, but yeah, they don't want it. Like if you drop it on the floor, they don't want the thing to bust open, right? It's got to be, tossed around, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they get banged up in those little containers. So,
how many licks does it take to get to the middle of a Tide Pod? 1, 2, 3.
Probably too many.
You gotta eat your Tide Pod like a civilized person with a fork and knife.
I mean, if you're that desperate to eat some laundry detergent, you could always just pour the liquid into a bowl or a cup. And that would probably be much more efficient.
Yes.
I don't know. I like I said, I don't think many people ate them. I think a person or two ate them, and the news story ran with it. It's just like how they were every year around Halloween. Check your candy for drugs. One person did it to his own kids, and now we're all having to listen to this nonsense years later.
I know, because people aren't giving away drugs for free. Like, it costs money for them to buy the drugs. They are not then just giving them to random people for free.
Yeah, I can't imagine going through all the effort of getting them just to turn around and hand them out to people. And you don't even get to watch the effects or anything. Like, where's the benefit in any of that? Yeah. Even a psychopath, like, there's no benefit whatsoever because you don't get any gratification from it whatsoever because for all you know, they throw it away. I mean, please. It's just weird. Yeah. It's just weird. Although I see those videos every once in a while, like, it's like, oh, Gen Alpha's doing this. And it's like one person doing something stupid
Well, we found the one person who ate Tide Pods because Sir X-Man is very confident that you can bite into it. So he must know from experience.
I mean, I'm never going to
I'm never going to
argue
find
with
out.
that. I wouldn't argue with it, but I would be curious. I would be curious to know. If someone does know, let me know. I'm
Yeah, for
not going to try
science.
it out.
We're not recommending anyone to do this. I'm
No,
sure
not
it's
at all.
harmful. Whether it kills you, I really don't know. It may. So, like I said, we are not recommending anyone do this. But if you do, for science, please take notes. Document what happens.
That is
Report back.
true. They did. I mean, I don't think it was real comet though, because I'm pretty sure that would kill you, or at least burn your nose. Like comet's bleach, a bleached powder. So I would imagine that would probably eat a hole through your something, stomach,
Yeah, that
nose.
can't be good.
I can't imagine it would be good, but yes, they did do that in the movie. That movie's wild though. I'm just saying. Cheech and Chong, any Cheech and Chong movies, wild. It's a whole different. Speaking of movies, we're going to be discussing epic movies, epic movie openings. Actually, this would be like the first. I'm going to say the openings would consist of like the first 15 minutes of the movie, because that usually sets the whole scene. In the first 15 minutes, you can usually tell if the movie's going to be bad or if it's going to be good. Sometimes the beginnings lie to us because they're really good and the rest of the movie is absolutely terrible. I myself have a few of those. How about you?
Okay, so we all know that you're going to have like good suggestions, good movies, things that are valid. Um, I do have movies. I did plan ahead. So before we talk about the greatest openings, though, I just want to put this out here. So I came up with a list earlier this week,
Mm-hmm.
and then earlier today I was watching some of these opening scenes because I saw these movies ages ago. I don't remember them. I got distracted, and the reason I was late and I signed on right before 9 is because I watched an entire movie. Now, when I say an entire movie, it's only like a 16-minute long movie. If you guys have not watched A Recipe for Seduction, please watch it. It is a KFC movie. I'm not joking. Like KFC made this little 16-minute movie. It has AC Slater. I forget what's his real name. Mario Lopez as
Harris, what his
Harlan.
name is. He will always be AC
Yeah,
Slater.
he's AC Slater as Harlan Sanders. And it's a little love story. It's just as cheesy as you probably would think it was, but I got distracted and I watched the whole 16 minutes of it. So, yeah. But it did not make my list though of best openings. Oh, maybe it should because it did have in the opening scene they're at the rich people house for dinner and the guy proposes and she doesn't accept. So, sets the stage for the movie. And they reference that they hired a new cook, and his food is delicious. So obviously the cook is Harlan Sanders.
And yes, sir, X-Men. I've seen a Cheech and Chong movie. I've seen quite a few Cheech and Chong movies. I like personally my favorite's Up in Smoke, but that's just me. That's like the stand-ups.
I've never seen a Cheech and Chong movie.
Really?
Nope, never seen it.
Wow.
Okay. If you ever ask me about movies, it's easier to ask me the movies I've never seen because have I seen? Chances are I have not seen it.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just tons of movies I've never seen.
Well, it happens. Not everybody has time to watch a whole bunch of movies all the time.
I don't know. As kids, we didn't watch a whole lot of movies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not a movie person. I don't ever think, hey, I gotta go watch a movie. Of course, I didn't bring a drink down here with me, and now I can't stop coughing. And I had an unopened bottle of Gatorade down here for months that I drank like 2 days ago. Great. I could have had that.
No. All right, well, go get a drink before you choke to death. See, okay. I told you. I knew something was forgotten. I said. I will.
I'm looking around my room. Do I have a random drink? And I don't.
Go get a
All right, I'll
drink.
be back in a minute. Hold on.
I will survive without. I will explain. Listen, folks. I will explain. Yeah, I told you so. Before we started, I kept telling her, I'm like, I'm hyping myself up to do the show and start because something feels off. Like I feel like I'm forgetting something. Everyone's got those moments where they're getting ready to go do something, and you feel like you're forgetting to do something beforehand or that you need with it. And I felt like I was forgetting something. And it wasn't me that was forgetting something, apparently, at least not yet that I've discovered. I very well could realize 5 minutes from now that I had forgotten something before we started to. But I think right now I was just kind of ESPing the fact that Pinky needed a drink and she forgot one. So you're welcome. But I guess I could say hi to the chat. Hi guys.
Okay, back.
I was just explaining. Felt like something I was missing something before we started, and I think at ESPing
Yes.
yours, it wasn't me that was forgetting something. It was you that was forgetting something.
And I always have a drink with me too, that I never even drink. Anyways, I always have it just in case that I never drink it until the week that I don't. But okay, so I do have a list of movies with iconic opening scenes.
Okay. All right.
Where you
Let's
give
get the first one. Is the movie good? Is the question.
yes.
Okay. Because I have a few that aren't very good. That's why I asked. Because like the opening scenes are hilarious or amazing for whatever reason, and the rest movies not great. That's why I asked.
This might not be your kind of movie, I don't know, but the movie Up, the animated Pixar movie. Okay, the opening scene, you laugh, you cry, like you go through a whole range of emotions. It's just beautiful. Carl and Ellie meet as kids. So the whole thing is he's a little boy and he's a little Boy Scout. He watches a movie about an explorer. He's walking by this abandoned house. He hears somebody. He goes in. He meets this little girl. She's also an explorer. They become friends. They end up getting married. They get married. They redo the house that they were in, that they met, the abandoned house. They bought it. They redid it. So sad. They prepare for a baby. They lose the baby. They grow old together. Ellie passes away. You just have, and this is all just an opening. This is the opening, like not even 10 minutes of the movie. You go through this whole thing. Yeah, I love it. And I like the whole movie. The whole movie's cute, but I love animated movies. So okay, I used to never cry at movies. Now I'm like, I'm a wimp. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm a wimp. I cried at everything. I watched the opening of Up earlier, and I was trying to not cry because it was just sad.
Yeah, I don't cry over a lot of things anymore, but there are a few that have gotten me teared up. And there's a few that have shocked me that I was surprised made me tear up, actually. Inside Out was one of the ones that made me tear up a little bit. I was like, there were certain times it was so sad. But yeah, Up. In the first, that's a good call. Because in the first like 5 minutes, you go through a whole range of emotions.
Yeah.
You're like bipolar. It is insanity. I don't know how they do that to people. I sometimes feel like it's a little unfair to not give us a moment before you ease us into that. Like, give me a moment before you just go ahead and break my heart. So not fair. So not fair. But yeah, I love that movie too. That was a really good movie.
And then just the whole movie in general. The whole thing is him and his wife are getting on this adventure that they didn't go on. And he finds her adventure book and says, start making new adventures. So he goes on this adventure. He's just an old curmudgeon at this point. He's, they're developing around his house, and he lost his wife. So he goes on this adventure, and a little Boy Scout was a stowaway, and then they go on an adventure together. It just kind of allows him to live life again, and it's a cute movie in general. Like I said, I just love animated movies.
The shorts for that movie that they made after that movie was done are so cute, adorable. He keeps the bird.
Kevin.
He keeps Kevin. And it's so funny. And the dog.
Is it
Doug.
a dog? Isn't he Doug?
Yeah, Doug. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah,
Doug.
Doug the dog.
Yeah. He keeps they're cute. They're absolutely hysterical and adorable. They're so cool. Very good. Pixar. Very good.
Yep.
Well played. Well played. I see what you did there. It's okay.
Got to start off strong, you know.
It's okay. Yeah. No, I will start off comical and
Okay.
somewhat horrifying at the same time. Santa's sleigh.
Oh yeah, didn't you just watch that last month? Or
Mhm.
well, now we're in February, I guess in
December.
December.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That movie. It's a. I would consider it a black comedy or comedic horror, I guess. Um, in the in the opening scenes, they're all at dinner, and it's a whole bunch of people you'd recognize, like Fran Drescher. Um, I now that I need to think of who's in there, I can't
You
think of
can't.
the names, but there's a bunch of people you'd recognize if you're older. So great lineup for none of them live, none of them make it, and every death is more comical and intriguing than the last. I mean, Santa lights someone on fire and stuffs them in a turkey. It just like it gets great. So yeah, Santa Sleigh is probably one of the best openings I've seen in a while.
So wait, do all these people die in the opening?
Hmm.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought you
everyone
meant
at the
like
dinner
throughout the
table.
movie they don't survive. Oh, so it's just the whole opening.
Just the opening is they're at a dinner table. No one leaves the dinner table.
Yeah.
They all play like it's just their setup's supposed to be like an extremely rich, intolerable. They're supposed to be unlikable characters, and they are. They're all completely unlikable. Mom sleeping with one of her son-in-laws, mom's like the third wife to the husband, and you know what I mean. The kids are miserable and spoiled. It's just it's amazing. It's great. It's the best. I feel like yes, but that would be my first choice. I see that there's some good ones in here though.
Yeah, so Sir X-Men said Happy Gilmore. The Price is Wrong, bitch. I don't remember the opening scene. I've seen the movie. I love the movie, but the opening
Yeah,
scene, I don't
I'm
even
drawing a
remember
blank
what
on the
happens.
opening scene, but I think Bob kind of outshines most of that because like that's the first thing that pops into my mind when I hear
Yeah,
Happy Gilmore is the price is wrong, bitch.
yeah.
I've been saying that. I've been saying that since that movie came out. Okay, that yeah. I don't know. I don't remember what the opening was. I'll have to rewatch it because I don't remember.
Dodgeball, I've never seen. I want to though because everything I see that's probably seems like my kind of movie, but I've never seen it.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. I, I said that too since that movie's come out. Whenever I throw something at someone, you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Oh, I love that movie.
Van Wilder, I've never seen.
That movie's funny too.
And
Gross but funny.
the first Final Destination is the log truck in the opening scene or no?
That's the third movie.
Oh, it
No,
is. See, I
yeah,
don't even.
the
I'm gonna have
first.
to rewatch all the Final Destinations before the new one comes out. But
You
I,
have to.
you know,
The first Final Destination is the plane crash. That's where they're all
okay,
going on a plane. And yes, I agree. That is absolutely an amazing opening. I thought that movie
yeah,
that movie was insane. That movie was nuts when it came out.
yeah.
I was terrified to go on a plane for a little while after watching it.
I still think about that. Not, I don't fly very often, but um, I still think about that when I fly.
Oh, that movie is great. That movie is great. Yes, Dreadpool, they killed your nanny. They killed Fran.
Nanny, fine.
It was the best. She was a good sport about that movie. But
I don't know what movie you're quoting, Sir X Man. I mean, I'm assuming it's a movie. I'm
it
assuming you're
sounds
not just
familiar,
giving
but
us,
I feel
you
like
know,
that's just the random.
you're not just making an admission here. I'm assuming that's a movie.
I feel like that's from Dodgeball, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm probably wrong.
Okay. The original Nightmare on Elm Street is a good opening. Not that quote is from
Yeah,
the original Nightmare on Elm Street.
I agree with that one. Okay, so here's a movie that probably nobody's ever watched. So this one, I'm giving you this one, guys. This is like a freebie, and I'm
Okay.
telling you this one because the opening is amazing. It is the best nonsense you will ever see. Is the rest of the movie good? Absolutely not. It is garbage. I will be the first one to admit it. It is absolute garbage, the rest of the movie. But the beginning is epic. Okay. And I'm not even going to tell you why. You really need to watch the movie to find out why the beginning is as wild as it is. But it's called Santa Jaws. Yes, it's a Santa Claus shark that eats people. And you really need to watch. It's absolutely horrendous, like I said. The rest of it, hear the rest of the movie. You don't need to watch it. After the beginning's over, you can turn it off. But you need to watch the beginning of this movie. It is insanity. And I tell you why, but that gives away just like what kind of I can't even use the right words I want to use for this to describe this.
Well, no, with a name like Santa Jaws, I know exactly what kind of movie it's going to be, and I'd want to watch the whole thing. You know what you're getting into with that title. You know?
I mean, you have to watch it. I'm telling you, just the beginning of it is just absolutely insane. It's just the best thing you're going to watch. I'm not even kidding. It's got everything you could ask for in a shark horror movie, I swear. Not even lying. I believe it's on Netflix, so go ahead and watch that.
Okay.
Tell
Check
you,
it out.
thing. Wherever it's streaming, I know it's streaming for free, so you need to check out Santa Jaws and tell you best opening you look. I put it on one day because my friend suggested it. She recommended it to me. You got to watch this movie. It's amazing. I'm reading it, the synopsis, and I'm looking at the picture, going, it's a shark. It's a great white shark, like an actual National Geographic picture of the shark breaking water with a Santa hat on, a CGI Santa hat on. It's terrible looking. And I'm like, why am I watching? I regret nothing. I regret nothing. And that is an amazing, amazing opening. You're gonna love it. I'm telling you. You're gonna laugh till you cry. I promise you will laugh, and you will probably ask WTF a whole bunch of times because I know I did. But it's amazing. It's
Like,
not a bad WTF. It's one of those.
like I said, you kind of know what you're getting into with a name like Santa Jaws. You know what to expect already.
Oh yes, yes. Like I said, it's a freebie. You guys have to watch it. It's amazing. The beginning is just amazing. It's classic. I don't even want to tell you what it is because it'll give it away. Because the beginning, in and of itself, is its own little movie. It's just you love it. Go watch it.
Okay, I'll have to watch it this week. Okay, so I have one more animated movie on my list, and it's Who Framed Roger Rabbit. The
Oh yeah.
reason I love that opening, so the movie starts, and it's you're watching a movie. It's Baby Herman with Roger Rabbit. So you're watching a little movie of them,
hmm
and the mom leaves, and I think it's funny because just like with like Muppet Babies, when you see the mom, you just see her from like the calves down, right?
hmm
So the mom leaves, and she's like, "I'm gonna leave you in good hands of Roger Rabbit." So of course the baby, the cute little baby, sees cookies on top of the fridge, wants to go get the cookies. Roger Rabbit is not paying attention. So then when he realizes, oh gosh, the baby's not in the crib, then he goes to try to save the baby, and it's just slapstick comedy cartoon that, he falls into the oven, he slips on the soap, like, all the things that could happen in cartoons all happen right in this opening sequence. But then the baby falls at the top of the fridge, he saves the baby, but then they open the fridge door, and because he got hit, he's got all the little birds flapping around his head, and then the director yells cut, and it's a human director, and he's mad because the script wasn't supposed to have little birds, it was supposed to have stars, right? So then Baby Herman starts to talk. Baby Herman's like an old man. like who
Yeah.
smokes or something. But it just I love it because you think you're watching this little movie and it's not. You're watching them filming the cartoon movie, and I just like how it kind of sets up the cartoon human world. So
Oh, I
I
agree that
as an
movie.
opening sequence.
I agree that movie is that opening scene is
Yeah,
great. That is actually really good. It is another.
yeah.
I loved that movie as a kid growing up. I
Oh, me
still love
too.
that movie. I'll
Yes.
watch that movie on repeat, like regular. I don't even care. Don't
Yeah,
even, that movie's amazing. That
I
movie's
do. I love it.
one of
It's
the
one of my
best.
favorites.
It's a shame that they haven't been able to duplicate that kind of thing since they've only been able to make a few movies with cartoons in with real live people that
Yeah.
come out well. There's a few that have kind of not done so well,
The second
but
Space Jam.
I mean the new
First
one,
one was good, but
yeah, the first one was.
second one,
You would think the other one would be so much better because technology's come such a long way,
yeah,
and it just really fell flat. I'm sorry, it
yeah.
really did fall flat.
I think it's just tough too, though, because you got at some point don't remake the thing that we love because you're just not going to live up to it. You need to come up with
Yeah.
something different instead of having a sequel, like kind of have a spin-off, even just something that you're not comparing it to the first one. But
Okay. So I think it was Sir X that asked, "What would be your favorite Final Destination?" Oh no, Cougarman. Sorry. What's your favorite Final Destination movie?
oh, I don't know because I can't like I've seen them all, but do you think I remember them all? No, I don't.
Okay, what's your favorite opening disaster? How's that? What's your
Well, I don't know
favorite
if it's
opening
opening one,
disaster?
but I had to say, I mean, the log truck is just the one that sticks into my head. Like when you said the
Actually,
first one, it opens up with the plane. I'm like, okay, yeah, I remember it now. Like as soon as you said it, I'm like, yeah, I got it. But the log truck is the one that when I think of Final Destination, that's what I think of.
I was wrong. The log truck is the second one. The roller coaster is the third one.
Okay.
Then it's the race cars, and then the bridge. It's very difficult to keep those in
Like I
order.
said, I'm gonna have to rewatch them all this year to prepare for the new one.
Listen, Cooker Man, they've already redone I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, and it was like, I will always remember what you've done like 5 years ago. And it was absolute garbage, okay? Absolutely garbage. Listen, I Know What You Did Last Summer, the first one, we let it pass. Let's be honest. We all let that movie pass. It's not that great of a setup. And besides, the final girl should not have been the final girl. I'll say it. I know I'm not ashamed. She shouldn't have been the final girl. Sarah Michelle Gellar's character motivated much more to live. Didn't stand there and scream, unlike Jennifer Love Hewitt's character, who just stood there and screamed the whole time. She never should have survived. I'll say it. That movie just
I
gets
think
a
we all
free
know why
pass.
she survived.
Yeah, that movie just gets a free pass because it's a 2000s movie. It had all of the name brand big stars at the time, all your heartthrobs. I mean, come on now. It had good looks for everybody. It had hot female leads, hot male leads. It had what you wanted at that time. And let's be honest, what sells? Pretty people. The movie was garbage to begin with. And then remaking it's not going to help anything. It's just going to be more obnoxious. They're probably going to make the characters more obnoxious, if anything. Not that they were great to start with. So, would it be good? Probably not. Will it be watchable? I don't know. Depends on your opinion of watchable. Bodies was made specifically to make fun of the younger generation and make them completely unlikable. And they absolutely succeeded. I was hoping and waiting for everyone in that movie to get slaughtered. And I was so mad when two of them survived. I feel like they should have like fallen down the stairs or something at that point. But that's just me. I don't know why they keep making movies like that. They make movies where you want people to not live to the end anymore. I don't know why. I've noticed this. It's like a pattern. like the last 2 or 3 years, every horror movie has so many unlikable characters. You're just waiting for them to slaughter. Now, when I go into a horror movie, regardless of whether the character is likable or not, I'm going there to see one person survive, and that is it. I don't care if they're really that likable. It'd be nice if they were, but it's not a necessity. But to go out of your way to make them all the biggest D-bags you could possibly ever come across. It's getting old, man. It's getting real old. I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a prime example on that. Those characters were absolute garbage. Everybody was trash. You were waiting for Leatherface to come out and slaughter them all. I mean, we're here to save the town. How about now? How about you mind your business? That's my opinion now. I am alone on this island, and that is fine.
I was just letting you go. Let you go on your rant there. I didn't want to interrupt.
Sorry, guys.
I agree, though. You shouldn't be rooting for the killer, and sometimes you do. There's some people who are just that unlikable that you root for the killer.
If you watch Bodies, 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 as the prime example of you don't want anyone to solve this.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be set up where it's like a whodunit type thing, and they're supposedly killing everybody, but they're really just killing each other. That movie's so terrible. But the characters are such trash. When they die, you're just like, that took too long. It's not an, oh, that's kind of sad.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when you watch the old Friday the 13th, story may not always be there, but the characters were at least likable. I mean, there aren't many characters in Friday the 13th series you don't like. Usually they're kind of at least tolerable. I mean, and here we've got the exact opposite. I mean, Texas Chainsaw. Well, it's not that Texas Chainsaw Massacre with Jessica Biel. It's the newer one that Netflix did. It's Rehash or something. I don't know what it is. Texas Chainsaw something. It's so bad, no one cares. That's how. It's the one that everyone has ever complained about. If they've ever said some of the dumbest scenes in horror movies, I guarantee you this one made the list of, if you do anything, we're going to cancel you. They say that in the movie to Leatherface. If you do anything, after he's already killed someone, if you do anything, we're going to put it on the internet and cancel you.
That's so
Who
dumb.
wrote this garbage?
It's so dumb.
Who wrote this? If I see a guy wearing a mask, dirty as all hell, with stringy hair, stepping onto a bus with a chainsaw, I'm not going to be like, if you move, I'm going to kill. I'm getting off the back of the bus or climbing out the window or an exit somewhere. I'm not hanging out to talk.
Do you think a dude who looks like that cares if he gets canceled? Do you think he gives a crap? He's not on the internet.
The internet is at that point.
Yeah, I don't think so.
He lives in the middle of friggin' nowhere, and he's dirty and stringy, and you think that he cares? They don't even have phones in this town. Really? And that's their writing. That's amazing.
So X-Man likes the opening to Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I've never seen that movie either.
That movie's funny. Okay, so what's your other movie that has an amazing opening?
Okay, so no particular order. Okay, so I had not seen this movie since I was a little kid. Maybe not a little kid. I don't know. Medium kid beats me. So I rewatched just the opening today. Cliffhanger. You ever seen that movie? That's got Sylvester Stallone, and he the opening is just like, from the moment like you start, like shit's going down. But it's kind of weird because it doesn't even really have anything to do with the movie. It just sets up that the people don't like each other. Like, it has nothing to do with the rest of the movie. So they're in a helicopter and they're going to rescue people who are climbing a mountain. And of course, they're like, how people climb up there, I don't know. They're like all the way at the top of this random peak. And Sylvester Stallone is, you know, the people like when you like, you're just like, you have to like jump and hang on and jump and hang on. Like, that's the type of climbing that he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So he climbs up there. So they have a rope connected to the helicopter. The one guy goes over and he gets in the helicopter. So then Sylvester Stallone, gets the lady, puts her in the harness, tightens everything up. She's terrified. So they're 4,000 feet in the air, right? So she is going over. She gets halfway across, and her freaking buckle on her little harness breaks. Sylvester Stallone goes out there to try to save her, and they're like, "No, it's not rated for two people." He's like, "I gotta do it." He goes out there, he grabs onto her. So it's like I said, it's intense because here he is and he's grabbing onto her. I know it sounds stupid talking about it, but if you watch it, you'd understand. And he's hanging onto her, and her hand ends up slipping out of the glove, and she falls to her death. And this is like the whole opening sequence. Like I said, for the beginning, it's just action. It's just very intense. Turns out she dies, and then the guy blames Sylvester Stallone. He ends up leaving, and then he comes back later in the movie, and it has to do with like people stealing money in a heist, and I don't know. But yeah, like I said, even though I didn't remember what the whole movie was, I had to read the Wikipedia entry. I've always remembered that opening sequence.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Not bad, actually. I don't watch many I did not watch many Sylvester Stallone movies. I feel like a lot of them are kind of the same. It's an action.
Yeah, this was not a normal one. Well, I don't know, maybe it was because, like I said, I forgot the rest of the movie. But you could actually understand him when he was talking.
Oh, that's good. That's a change. That is
yeah, there's a lot of them you can't.
Oh, that's too funny. That is too funny. I agree. Good one. That's another good one. I have basically just your, I would say your basic list of movies that are well known for having their openings be pretty good. Die Hard 2. I can't even remember Die Hard 2, I'll be honest. I remember bits and pieces of that movie, and that's about it. My most overrated horror movie. Oh, that's an easy one, actually. I don't even have to think that hard about that. My most overrated, hated horror movie. It's an entire series, actually, and some spin offs included. Paranormal Activity. I feel like those are the dumbest movies I have ever seen. My friend was so invested in their belief that those were scary. He swore up and down that they were the scariest movies, and it's, I have to watch it, and it's going to change my life, and this, that, and the other thing. I made fun of him for ages after that. I mean, any opportunity I had, I'd make fun of him after that. Like, oh, wait, did you hear that? Sounds like a door shutting. Oh, no, I think we have a poltergeist. Oh, the TV turned on by itself. Oh, no, I think we have a... That movie's so dumb. I feel like it was such a ripoff, and they have just run with the idea of it since then. And that is exactly what it was. The guy wanted to make a movie with as little a budget and with as few people as possible, and that is exactly what he did, and people just ate it right up. That is the most overrated entire series plus spin-offs. Garbage. And because it's so funny and comical to people that know me on a day-to-day basis, for Secret Santa 1 year, someone got me those movies for a Christmas gift. I had like 1 through 6.
You smash him.
I regifted it. Is like as soon as I opened it, I was like, "What?" I was so mad. Pegged it aside, and then I gave it to somebody I didn't like the next day.
I think the most overrated series is Saw. Saw 1 was fine. Oh, see, and I said that right as I didn't even see Sarah when I was writing. Please tell me like Saw movies. I don't know. Like Saw 1 was fine. I could be on board with 2, whatever. I don't know. We're on Saw 5,752, and it's just getting ridiculous. It's been ridiculous.
There's a lot of them. I feel like they've dragged on. They're good movies.
Yeah.
It was good. It was a good story. Like the first few movies, the story flowed very well and consistently. And then since then, it's kind of divulged. I mean, don't get me wrong. I will watch them because I enjoy them finding new techniques and torture racks. That's always fun for me. The stories is not what I'm going to watch it for. I'm going to watch it for the gore pretty
Yeah.
much. Sarah Smith, I'm glad you like the paranormal movies. Someone has to. I mean, there's a reason they keep making them, so someone has to like them. It's just my personal preference. Everyone's entitled to their things. I'm sure there are going to be movies that I say I absolutely love and adore, and you're gonna be like, that is absolute a heaping of garbage. That is absolutely fine because I know I like bad movies sometimes. Listen, my favorite series is the Halloween series, and I would be the first one to admit that most of the movies in that are garbage, like absolute garbage. Still love Michael. Um, uh,
My beef with the Saw movies is just that there's too many of them. I think that like it was fine, and then you just killed it because you just kept going. Like you should have ended it,
I
and they're
feel like
still
they do
going.
that.
Like I think that that's just my complaint. It's really not even. I don't know.
I feel like they do that with a lot of movies,
Yeah,
and it's really kind of sad because the movies start out, the series will start out amazing, and yeah, X Men they absolutely burned out. Halloween's a prime example of that. Saw's a prime example. Um, there's quite a few of them. I mean, I'm sure eventually Final Destination is going to turn into that. They've made. Don't get me wrong, the movies are decent for what they are, but some of them weren't that great
yeah.
setups. So I mean, it happens. It's because they see that it's done well and they just keep pumping out more and more and more.
It is, but then you over time, well, one, I mean, you run out of ideas.
Hmm.
You've used all the good ideas. Now you on to the second rate ideas, the third rate ideas. Um, but then too, you're just trying to pump them out to make money that you lose sight of why we all liked them in the first place. So
Yeah, no, that's pretty much how a lot of series have actually done that. They've done that to a few people and they've retaliated, and it's filmed forever. I mean,
yeah,
Rob Zombie, I give that man credit where credit's due. Halloween, the first one he did wasn't bad. The second one, you could tell he was absolutely not having any part of it, and it
yeah.
shows. The whole movie is it's bad on purpose. He did that on purpose. I mean, my friend tried to make excuses and explain things like, "Oh, it's an Easter egg for this, that, and the other thing." Because I'm like, "Why is Homegirl on a white horse? What is that about? Why are we walking a
Uh,
white horse? Why does she look like a clothed Godiva riding up on a horse? What is this? What? Why?" And he's like, "Well, you know," and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's a little far fetched if that's why we're explaining some things. Come to find out, Rob Zombie literally just said, I just started throwing things in because I didn't want to make the movie. So I just made it as stupid as I could. I just started throwing things in and sticking it to the wall and see if it would land. Like, yeah, that explains it. That explains a lot. Explains a lot. Although I really did like the way he had Michael Myers, like giant of a man. That I thought was cool. But anyways, we're talking about movie opening. And I get sidetracked.
okay, so another one I have on my list. I'm gonna keep old school. Most
Mhm.
of mine are not current movies. I'm gonna go with Office Space just because it's so relatable.
Mm.
Um, the guy, and I forget everyone's names in the movie except the main guy because his name is Michael Bolton. So Michael Bolton is driving his car and he's on a 3-lane road. He's in the middle lane and he's stuck. And he looks over and there's a dude with a walker, right? And he sees the lane next to him. They're all flying by. He finally cuts over and then that lane stops and the lane he was in starts moving. He looks over again. The dude with the walker has passed him, right? So then it cuts back over to the original lane, right? We've all been there. You can't figure out where to go. Then they cut to the other guy, like the really nerdy guy with the glasses. And he's stuck in traffic, but he is just like rapping his heart out. So it's just this nerdy white guy rapping away. Then you get the last guy. I don't even know what he is. Is it Indian guy, or whatever? The guy who beats up the printer. And he's just pounding on the steering wheel. He's so mad, and I just makes me laugh because that's all of us. At some point, we've all been one of those three people, or maybe all three of them.
Uh, Possibly in the same 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But that just and that too. That I mean, once you watch the movie, it sets up the movie perfectly for what it is. But I just, yeah, that dude in the walker just flying by him though.
uh, no, the movie is good. I will forever remember the breaking of the printer, though. That will always be my favorite.
Yep.
I felt like doing that. I had an office job one time, and I felt like doing that to the fax machine. I was so mad that we still had a fax machine and still
Yeah.
used the dang thing. I mean, that was just nuts. And I used to tell it, oh, I was forever yelling about that thing. Oh, I hated that. I would have loved to do an office space to that. That would have been great.
I know we've all had that. We've all had a printer that you want to just take outside with the baseball bat. We've all been there.
No one wants to see it right now. I'll do that later when I'm discussing movies more, not just openings, because that one doesn't count. I don't want to. The opening to that one's not.
You're talking about Falling Down with Michael Douglas. That's a great movie. I can't think of what the opening scene is, but that's the dude that he's just fed up with life.
Mm.
Yeah, and he takes the baseball bat because all the prices are too high. He goes to buy that soda, and it's too much money, and he just beats everything in the store. He doesn't steal anything. Sloppers.
Axel. That's why I started laughing. I'm like, over that's all I see in me.
Sloppers.
Thank you, Axel. Thank you.
He's the only one who's been like, I gotta get justice for my beloved
Yes, he
sloppers.
is so mad about that. So mad. It's like
You're
how
the only one who wants to eat them.
I actually got yelled at for like, how dare you talk that? And I'm like, I didn't say they were disgusting. I said they look disgusting. I've never eaten one, so I can't say if they're good or not. But it looks disgusting.
Yeah, you've never eaten one because who else other than Pueblo, Colorado serves something called sloppers?
It's not even the name so much as it looks like a bowl of food with a hamburger smashed into the middle of it. I don't
looks like a
understand
hamburger
how
and soup.
eat it.
That's what it looks like. It looks like a hamburger and a bowl of soup.
Yes.
Somebody was eating their hamburger, making some soup.
Couldn't decide.
They tripped, it fell in, and they were like, "Oh, I guess I'll eat it."
Yeah.
Throw some vegetables on top.
And it's funny that I should see Scream 1 mentioned because it's actually on my list. Except basic. I have a lot of the classics on here, folks. Yes, the Scream 1 opening scene, awesome. Who would have thought Drew Barrymore was going to be the first one to die? I mean, let's be honest, it's no longer a secret. It's been, 25 years or something crazy? No one was expecting that when that movie came out because most of the...
Did you see
Axel? Oh my God.
Oh, Dreadful messed it up.
Oh my God. Well, that's my
Slopper.
cue. I'm out. Anyways, back in the day when they advertised for Scream 1, Drew Barrymore was all over the advertisements for it. Like it was I believe it wasn't even that long of a trailer. It was like a 2-minute long trailer. And it just showed Drew Barrymore answering the phone and she's making popcorn and talking. And then that was pretty much the equivalent of, and then I think you got to see Ghostface run through the woods or something like that. Like that was the equivalent of the trailer. So nobody knew what was happening. Yeah, Drew Barrymore was a big name at that time. She was the biggest name in the movie. They pulled a Hitchcock, man. Let's be honest. They pulled a Hitchcock. That was amazing. And the reason it worked is because he did that. I mean, that's another good movie, though, Psycho. That's another one on the list. That is another great movie that you weren't expecting. Most people weren't expecting Janet Leigh to be the first one to go, but there she was.
Mm-hmm.
And I was told that nobody liked showers after that for that reason alone. Ha ha ha. Shower locks went up after that. Just saying. Grandma's Boy is another good opening.
I still have to watch that. We talked about that last time or 2 times ago. I still haven't watched that yet. I have to though. The slopper moment has passed.
Oh my god, that's great. You guys are too funny. Too funny.
Okay, so the next one I have on my list is a classic. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
good. That's a good opening. Yeah, that is true.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you might miss it. Right? So he starts off, he's sick in bed. Parents fawn all over him. His sister, can't believe it. She leaves. The parents go to work. And then he gets up, and then it's him talking to the camera. Because obviously you don't know, if you're watching it for the first time, you don't know that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
He's telling you how to fake being sick, and he's setting it up. And yeah, it's a classic opening. In the shower with the mohawk.
Mm-hmm. No, it is a good opening. It is another good opening. And I'm going to mention, I'll read you that with Ghost Ship. Another one, the movie's not that great, but the opening scene's amazing. Everybody gets slaughtered on a cruise ship. Make you think twice about going on a fun. But it's awesome. I mean, the details are so good. That movie. Not great, but I have watched it way too many times just for that opening scene, and then they show it again later in more detail. Oh, amazing. Yeah. Oh, now you're being added to Breakfast Club. That's another good one.
Okay, I've seen the Breakfast Club. I don't remember the opening scene necessarily though, but I do remember the Breakfast Club.
All right, so what's another good opening for a movie?
Okay, I have. I don't know. I like this as an opening. I don't know if what other people think. Speed. So, Keanu Reeves and Harry. His name actually is Harry in the movie, but I was thinking Harry from Dumb and Dumber. I get Jeff Daniels. They are cops. So Dennis Hopper rigged the elevator. So the elevator, he blew the cables on it, but he's got the emergency brake. So they're there to try to save it, but it's like a little mini movie inside of the movie because that's not even the main movie. They just has to set up, why Dennis Hopper has it out for Keanu Reeves. But it's just got pop quiz, hot shot, right? It's got a couple quotable moments to it. That stupid lady who's like afraid she can't get out of the elevator. I can't. And then she gets out, and you think her legs are gonna get cut off, but they don't. Like they just pull her out at the nick of time. They save everybody. Like I said, I think I like it. Little mini movie inside the movie.
Speed was a good movie. Mm-hmm. I don't remember the opening, but I remember the movie was good.
When I was in 7th grade for science class, we convinced our teacher to let us watch a movie because we said we wanted to watch Speed. We totally think that he thought it had something to do with science, not that it was this movie. And we spent two or 3 days, and he even bought a microwave popcorn, and we ate popcorn and watched Speed. It was amazing.
That's funny.
I don't know anything I learned that year, but who really cares? I watched Speed.
Oh, that's great. We never got to do anything like that. We just got to watch the movies that were based on whatever curriculum we were working on. I think the coolest movie we ever got to watch was Tornado. Wait, is it? Yeah, the Tornado movie. We were allowed to watch that in science class. That was probably like the closest. Otherwise, it was like,
yeah, Yeah, I'm thinking that I don't know if he
Romeo and
was like
Juliet.
close to retirement or he was disgruntled or what. I don't know because it totally was not normal that we
He
did
was
this.
a man who had a plan, and he wanted everyone to be quiet and leave him alone for a few days.
It
He was
worked.
smart. He was
It
smart.
worked.
Okay, so I guess I will. My next one. I have so many. Most of them are horror movies. I'm gonna be honest, but Jurassic Park. It
Yes.
gets eaten by a
Now wait,
dinosaur in like
now
the first couple of minutes.
the
Yes.
original Jurassic
Yeah.
Park? Okay. Yeah.
I would never name a remake for much of anything. Not because they're not always good. It's just because I usually think of the originals before I remember the remakes.
Yeah. No, you're right. That is a really good opening sequence.
I mean, yeah, they're fighting. They're dealing with this monster. You don't know what it is. All you're doing is you're hearing random sounds. You don't know what that is. You see some bushes moving. The guy trips, screams. That's the end of it. Close the gate. Awesome. Good. I'm gonna have to take your word that Dark Knight is the greatest movie intro ever because that movie put me to sleep like 16 times. Anytime I've tried to watch it, I've never made it through it completely one sitting. I've watched the whole thing, but I usually have to like start where I stopped.
Is Dark Knight the one that has Bane in it?
I honestly don't know. Dark Knight, I think, is the one with Heath Ledger's Joker. I think. I'll be honest,
Okay.
all those movies are kind of a blur, and I really only remember Bane's part. I remember Joker, and that's really all I remember from those movies. Those movies
Yeah.
really just. How many
Your
times do we have to see Bruce Wayne?
I was just gonna say your favorite Batman opening sequence is the original Batman, just because you weren't sure if his parents were dead and you were glad that the movie reminded you. So
I mean, God forbid we start after he's already been fighting crime for a while. I mean, we have to know that his parents
yeah.
died in an alley after going to see a movie with him and were shot in front of him because we'd be so lost without it. So lost. It's just kind of like Superman being shipped off of Kryptonian down to Earth. We would be so confused if we didn't see people on a distant planet putting him in a spaceship and then sending him off. Like, what? Never. Never. We must drill that story repeatedly. Uncle Ben must die in every Spider Man movie.
Yes.
We cannot forget. Never forget.
Yes, Sir X-Men likes Major League. I love Major League. If that's one of my top 3 all-time favorite movies. Ricky Vaughn, Wild Thing. I love because okay, so I only ever watched the TV edit for so long
Mhm.
that the first time I watched the actual movie, what they cut out of TV is when he follows her home, he takes the club car, which is it's a golf cart that looks like a giant helmet, baseball
Mhm.
helmet. And I think it's hysterical. I didn't know that was in there for years and years and years. And the first time I saw it, I had to like keep rewinding it to watch it. I thought it was great. But yeah, tell you one of my top 3 movies. I love Major League.
Oh, that's
And the
great.
Heater Ricky.
I remember when that movie came out. It was a big deal because they were making fun of so many people in it. How do you feel about making fun of everyone? Talking to the same guys who wore dresses to a awards ceremony on acid. I don't think they care. Just throw that out there. So, okay. Next movie.
Okay, so next one I have on my list is Super Troopers.
Pull over. I can't pull over anymore.
I'm already pulled over, sir. I'm already pulled over.
Pull over.
Okay, so for those of you who aren't familiar, there's 3 guys going down the highway, and they're smoking pot, so they're all, like, sweaty, and the trooper comes up behind them. They start to panic, so they hand the bag of pot to the guy in the back seat, and they
Oh,
tell him to eat it.
yeah, and then
It's
they
a
get
sandwich bag, so
burned.
he eats the whole bag. So
Nobody
then
ate
they
those
go,
too. Yeah.
"Oh, can you eat these too?" And it's a bag, like a half a sandwich bag full of mushrooms, so he eats it. So the cops pull him over, and they come out, and they're just all so serious. There's, license and registration. "Do you know how fast you were going?" And he's like, 65? No, 63." "Well, what's I
But
thought the speed limit was 65." And then he just keeps talking. But then the cops just leave. Right? So then they're laughing like, "Oh, we got away with it. Did you really eat all those drugs?" And then all of a sudden the cops are behind them. And they're like, "Wait, are those the same cops? What the heck?" So then the cops come up again and act like they never saw him. License and registration. He's like, "I just gave it to you. License and registration," right? So he gives him all that. Then they just leave and they get in the car and they drive away. But they stop like, 100 feet down the road and then they just floor it in reverse. So now they pull up behind him. They're already pulled over and over the little loudspeaker. Pull over, pull over. Oh,
littering
dude, it was great.
in, littering in, littering in.
Man.
That movie is comical gold. I don't care. That movie's
Yes.
amazing.
Uh,
Broken Lizard's the best.
and I love when they have to say how many times can you say meow in the traffic stop.
I've
You
done
making fun of
that.
me right meow?
I've done that with a friend of mine when we were working at on a show one time. We were bored and we wanted to mess with people, but you have to be somewhat professional. You can't really like come out and do inappropriate things, obviously. But we were tired of dealing with their nonsense. We were like,
Yeah.
you know what? Let's see how many times we could slip in meow. Just like randomly throw it out there and just see if anybody says anything, or how long it takes them before someone finally says something. And it was quite a while. It was a good portion of the evening before finally someone said something. And the only reason anyone said anything is because we're literally sitting backstage while they're doing part of the show. And we're sitting there waiting. And all of a sudden, it's all quiet in the room, and there's about 6 people in there with us. And we're sitting there, and I looked at her, and I was like, meow. She just started cracking up. And everybody looked at me, and I was like, is it okay? You guys hear something? Is it all right? Did you something wrong? Did you hear something? Is this what's going on? Why are you staring at me? Like, did you just? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And that's when
No,
they
what
all
do you
started
mean?
talking to each other. Like, I heard her meow earlier. She said meow right in the middle of a sentence. I'm like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I didn't do it. None of that is possible. So, Super Troopers, thank you.
So I didn't know Frank said they filmed Super Troopers all over our area. I didn't realize that. Now I gotta look it up to see where they filmed
Oh,
it
that's
around here.
cool. Oh god, their movies are You know what?
Yeah.
I'll take Super Troopers, uh, Club Dread, and oh gosh, what's the beer one? Can't think of it. It's this other movie though. Those movies are all comical gold. Like they all have amazing openings. Those guys are
Yeah.
hilarious. They really do funny movies. So Starship Troopers does have a good opening though. I'm just saying.
I don't even know what I don't know what it is. I don't know anything
You
about
need
it.
to watch it. It's a good movie. It's a lot of people kind of miss the point of it. It's they're kind of making fun of blindly following things, just basically being told do what you're told, pretty much. A lot of people miss that because there's a lot of propaganda commercials in the movie, like spliced into the movie. It's great. You're gonna love it. You'll love it. You'll love it. And what's his name? Christopher Van whatever. He's younger in it. Looks great. Just saying. You'll appreciate it. Not a waste of time.
Okay. So what else do you have on your list?
I have okay, let's see. Jaws. Girl gets eaten by a shark after a late night giddy dip session. That's a classic. Can't not have the talk about opening movie and not and you just can't. It's that possible.
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street is another great opening. We've touched that one already.
Yeah.
Heathers.
Oh my god, I love Heather so much.
Will I be pretty or will I be smart? That's what my mother's to be. Throw, throw. That movie's amazing. That opening's great.
Okay, when I was in high school, I don't know if I was in between 11th grade. It must have been between my 11th grade and my senior year is what it must have been. I don't think it was between senior year and college. I got on the train from my house and I took the train by myself. My brother was spent the summer at college. So it was like a 13-hour train ride. My parents put me on the train by myself. So it was the first time doing something by myself. It was like a huge thing. So here I am sitting in my seat, and it's like the middle of the night, and some young kid probably was around my age. He had horrible body odor. The person who was sitting next to me left. I don't know where he went. So this kid sits down next to me and starts talking to me. So I'm just because I'm a kid, I'm not comfortable enough to be like, dude, get away from me. Like now I'd be like, who the hell are you? Leave. But there it was kind of awkward. Anyway, so this kid's talking to me, and I'm secretly like, please just get away. This is horrible. Anyways, the kid says to me, like I said, this is the middle of the night. The kid says to me, oh, the people who wrote Heathers are from my area, my high school. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much is your high school like Heathers? And I said, we don't kill each other, so 0. Like, I didn't know what to say to the kid. It's the middle of the night. I'm like 17 by myself on a train, and this is what this kid asked me. It was creepy. It was weird, and thank God he left shortly after that. Yeah.
Oh, that's too funny.
Yeah.
I gotta say, my high school experience was nothing like the Heathers. It wasn't even like Mean Girls. I mean, we had people that had their moments, but for the most part,
yeah, but you should want your school to be like Heathers. Like I said, they're killing each other. That's not a good thing. But I love the movie. I love the movie. I think it's great. There's just so many quotable moments. Yeah. Some that are not appropriate for the internet. So
still a good movie, though. Still a great movie.
Yes. But I have one more movie on my list. And Frank, I hope that you're still here in the chat room. I say this is a great opener, not because I think it's a cinematic masterpiece, but because it's really funny for people who don't know the movie to tell them to go watch the movie when you know that they're going to watch it with like family members. Mm-hmm. The Whale.
The Whale?
Yeah. The movie Brendan Fraser, The Whale.
Yeah.
Did you watch that movie?
I have not.
Do you want me to tell you what happens in the opening scene?
I mean, if it's the opening scene, it's not really much of a secret. So, yeah, man, go ahead. Why not?
Okay, so you know the movies, he's this gigantic dude who's pretty much housebound.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's sitting on the couch by himself, beating it, and he almost has a heart attack and dies, and some lady has to like come save him. But like this guy knocks on the door, and he's like gotta not have his junk out and stuff, but it's just hilarious because like I said, it's just this huge. This is not what you think the movie's going to be, and the rest of the movie isn't even like this at all. This is just the opening scene, so it's so much fun to tell people. They're like, "Yeah, I want to watch it with my family." And you're like, "Please watch it with your whole family. Make sure your mom's right next to you. Put it on the TV."
God, that's cruel. That's just cruel, man. Jesus.
I think me, Perry, Frank, the three of us watched it together. I don't know if anyone else was with us, but the three of us watched it together. We were all like, "Is this happening? Is this really?" I mean, obviously, you don't see it, like, right? Like, you know, it's not an X-rated movie. You don't see it, but it's
thank God for small favors.
Yeah, you know what's happening. The Whale is, yeah. Having some
my
solo
God.
time.
That's too funny. See if, yeah, my openings much more basic, I guess. Much more plain. I mean, got Zombieland, Blade, Halloween, 28 weeks later. Like zombies rushing into a house like that. And he just not only does he say, "Screw you guys, I'm leaving," he looks at his wife and is like, "I'm out because you wanted to stay and hang out with a random kid. Peace." I can't even blame him. I would not be mad personally. I would be more mad if he had stayed. Just gonna
So
throw
we've
that
all
out there.
seen you leave Dreadpool in the dust. You're out.
Hell
Every man for
yeah.
himself.
Listen, we got a kid. One of us has to survive to take care of her. Someone's got to have the will to live. And he likes to hear noises outside and then goes outside to check the noises. I'm the one going, if it's outside, who cares? I'm inside with all the doors and windows locked. Who gives a shit what's going on outside? Like, I'm just throwing that out there. I've never seen a horror movie where any of the killers decide to burn the house down to get into it. So I genuinely don't care what noise is happening out there. No, Dreadpool wants to go check it out, or he wants to walk real slow and see what's going on. Yes, I would leave him and save myself. He's the first one to die in a horror movie, okay? I'm the final girl. We are not the same. We should not be hanging out. I don't know how we got married. We're so different in that respect. He would not survive a zombie apocalypse because I would tell him, this is exactly what happened. Hey, sweetheart, there's a text message from the government saying there's people turning into zombies and eating each other outside. We should stay inside and lock the doors. And then I'd go and lock the door. And this fool would look at me and be like, oh, this is the perfect time to take my 360 outside and see if I can see zombies eating other people. That would be my husband. He would right out to it. He'd be like, the cameraman never dies. They do in horror movies. Just saying.
Let's hope that he's live streaming so we at least get to see his footage before he gets eaten.
Telling you. Yeah, no. And then there's Twilight Zone. Another great opening scene. Do you want to see something scary? You want to see something really scary? Yeah, pull over. In the middle of the desert somewhere. Like that. So when I ask you want to see something scary, and you're like, yeah, sure. Hey, pull over. Yeah, you've already been eaten. I don't know why you're even questioning things, making like choices at that point. You've already forfeited your life. Congratulations. So, Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is a good choice, or X-Men can argue with that. You seem to have a lot of choices. I like that.
You watch a lot of movies and you remember a lot of movies. So my problem is I don't watch a lot of movies and I don't even remember the ones that I've seen. So like I said, I'm glad when I told you that you had this idea, this topic a week ago, and I'm glad I had a week to prepare because if you would have told me 15 minutes ahead of time, I would have been screwed.
That's why as soon as it popped in my head, I was like, I gotta tell Peg because she's gonna need time for this.
Yeah, movie related, I need time.
I
thought I came with a good list though.
You did. You came up with a very good list. It was very detailed. Excellent. And look at that. We've been on for over an hour. Entertaining people.
I know we had a late start today, like I said, technical difficulties, but
it happens. It really happens. Like I said, someday we'll be a little more professional. Today's not that day.
Yeah.
Well, next week's not looking great either, but we might start on time next week. We're getting closer.
Hey, we would have only been like 5 minutes late. If we didn't have technical difficulties, we would have only been like 5 minutes late.
That's true. That is true. Yeah.
We're ready today.
That is very true. Mm-hmm. But with that said, we'll let you guys to it. So you can enjoy the rest of your Sunday because it is already after, well, here for us, it's almost 11 o'clock. So I'm sure people have things to do because they have to get up in the morning. I'm pretty sure I have some things I have to do around the house before I go to sleep because,
I have to get up and not shovel before work.
oh, ooh, ooh. I might
When I
have,
went upstairs for my drink, there was still just a dusting, so I'm hoping that that's all we're getting. I hope there's no more coming.
I hope you don't get snow.
Yeah.
Although I heard the groundhog kind of ruined it for everything for the next 6 weeks. We're looking at more winter.
I know they said here February is supposed to be, we have like a 40 to 50% chance of February being warmer than normal.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's always going to be cold on our wedding anniversary, on mine and Dreadpool's wedding anniversary forever. Because, like, a few years back when we got married, it was like the coldest day in the month. And we picked, well, we didn't really, I didn't think it was going to be that cold, okay? It wasn't supposed to be cold, all right? It looks like I have snow in my wedding pictures. It's not, it's sand. But it was so cold and windy that people thought it was like snowing and stuff. So I'd appreciate if Mother Nature would leave my wedding anniversary alone at this point. We're already married. It's not like we're trying to get married again on the beach. Like, wow. I'm not even trying to spend our anniversaries on the beach anymore at this point. I don't really care for the beach. It looks good in pictures. That's about all. Okay. You live next to one, you get tired of them. It's kind of like having a pool in your backyard. You get tired of it after a while, which I have one of those too. Don't go in that very often either.
Beach is too hot, too sunny, too sandy, too salty. I don't need to go
There's a
ever.
lot of tourists. We get a lot of tourists usually.
Yeah.
It's the thing about picturesque beaches. People like to come to see them.
Beach is not for me.
I still don't know who's doing. Oh, that's right. Kendrick Lamar is doing the halftime show. I probably won't even watch the Super Bowl because I'm not even that interested in the halftime show this year. Not because I don't care for Kendrick Lamar. I just only know like one of his songs that I like. Two or three, maybe two or three songs.
Yeah. I'll never watch the Super Bowl. I don't really care. I'm
I
surprised
wanna-
you're ready for Kansas City because I think like no one is. Right? No one wants them to win.
I don't know. I don't. I honestly haven't really cared about who's won a football game in my entire life. I've never cared who wins a football game.
Well, I think if the Chiefs win, I think that they will be the first team to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. I don't remember if they were the first team to win 3 Super Bowls, period. No, they can't because people won more than 3. Duh, that's stupid because like the Patriots have won a bunch. So they must be the first people to win 3 in a row. I saw that stat somewhere. Obviously, I didn't just happen to know that.
No, X-Men or Cougarman, we did not have a horror-themed wedding. It was a basic beach wedding. Had a reception at a Greek restaurant. Crazy, I know. I wasn't trying to be different. Not like other gals. I just wanted to get married and be done with it. Planning a wedding is hell. I don't care what anybody says. It's bigger torture than most things. Glad I don't have to do that again. Happy to be married. Don't want to get married again. Planning a wedding is worse. Christopher Ware.
Oh my god, I had so much fun planning a wedding.
Did
So
you?
much fun. Yeah.
Too many people. Opinions. People and
Oh,
opinions.
well, see, here's the thing. And see, anyone who gets engaged, I always tell them, I'm going to give you the only piece of advice you're ever going to need. It's your wedding between you and your spouse, depending who I'm talking to, right? It's your wedding between you and your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's going to give you all their opinions, but it's not their wedding, so don't worry about it. You do what you want to do. Don't let anyone make you feel bad for doing what you want to do.
That's actually really good advice. That is amazing advice for, that's actually really good.
Because you got family members, friends, vendors, everybody tries to make you feel bad and tell you that you're doing the wrong thing. But
That's true.
you do what you want to do because everyone's different and what's important to you is different and what you want is different. So you do you.
Yeah. I've seen people get married at haunted house. I've seen horror themed weddings too, serial killer themed weddings. They do a lot of things now. I feel like there's more themes with weddings and parties and things than there were 15 years ago and what have you. So it's more of a newer thing to do than it was something to do ages ago.
I would hate to go to a themed wedding because I feel like as a guest, like don't make me fit your theme. I like if let me wear what I is in my closet already. I don't want to have to go buy something to go to a wedding. I'm just
Mhm.
not going to come. If it tells me I have to wear something specific that I already own, I'm just not even going to show up. Like whatever.
I have a friend actually. It's funny you mentioned that. I have a friend when their parents got married, their parents told everyone they were just having a Halloween party and invited everyone to a Halloween party. And when they showed up, they got married. So their wedding pictures are like everybody wearing the most ridiculous
That's cool though.
Halloween costumes. And the bride and groom were the only ones wearing like white tie affair. It's so comical. I mean, those are epic wedding pictures.
Yeah.
Amazing. I thought that was the funniest thing. I was like, that wouldn't be a
And
bad idea.
Dreadpool. Sorry if you want to play the same Kid Rock song 8 times in a row, it's your prerogative. It's your wedding.
No, a friend of mine did that. She insisted that we.
I know. I remember you guys said that, but it's her wedding though. If that's her jam.
It was fine until everyone else started complaining, and then she got upset that people weren't dancing, and it's like you have to compromise somewhere. People will dance to the song once. They don't want to hear it 15 times in a row. That's just a really long song. Yes, I do have
Okay,
zombies in the background. Those are my
that was
friends.
peek through.
Those are my friends. That is Sheila. Back there's Bill, Bob, Chris, Steve. Gotta have Steve. Everyone's got a Steve. Dave, Kenny, Charlotte, Shanice.
So
uh,
Frank's right. The themed wedding I go to is if I got invited to a Wario themed wedding,
mhm.
I'd go buy a new War. I mean, I already have a Wario outfit. I'd go buy a new one to go to a Wario themed wedding. You're right. I would. You got me.
I
There are very
mean,
few themed weddings I'd go to.
if you tell me I get to wear a costume for any occasion, I am that person. I don't even care what the reason is for me to wear a costume. I will put the costume on. I I don't always feel confident in the costumes. I have a few costumes that I'll be honest, when I put them on, I do feel stupid. I feel really dumb, but I'll wear a costume for a reason. Like I'll do it for a good cause. I don't care. I'll look a fool. I'm so used to it. It doesn't even matter. Listen, if you've seen some of the costumes I've had to put on for just to model them or even to wear them outside in public, as long as my butt cheeks are covered, we're good to go. I just ask that my bits are
Yeah.
covered and we're good. Although there have been a few I would never, ever wear. But still.
So you would not who's Kanye West dating? Bianca
Oh,
Sensori or
no,
whatever
they're
her name is.
married now. Yeah. I know. I would never wear
Um
anything she wears.
yeah, you should see what she wore to the Grammys tonight.
She didn't wear anything. She was naked.
No, no, she had no. There was a dress on. It just was clear. It was
Listen,
like mesh or something. You talk about your
I'm
bits
well
being
aware
covered.
of
They
what
were not covered.
I'm well aware of
Yeah,
what fabric she was wearing.
it's
And I
like
put that
netting,
in loose
right?
quotation marks, what she
Yeah.
was wearing. I'm well aware of that fabric. And I stand by my original statement. She was naked. That fabric isn't even considered a chiffon. That was
How is
a
how is that not
netting.
indecent exposure? I mean, the bits were hanging out.
I'm not sure. I still don't
Hey, did you
know.
see it? Did you see it, MILF man? If not, I mean, that's right up your alley. Go look. The bits were out. All the bits.
Listen,
All of
she
them.
wears next to nothing all the time.
I
I
know,
think
but
at this point it's just
normally
a shock value to get her
normally the
name
bottom
and
ones are
people talk
covered. No, the bottom ones were airing out.
everything. She does that all the
Yes.
time though. I mean,
And high heels
she's
on.
constantly letting her ass hang out or just naked with just like a strip of see-through fabric. I feel like it's just a play. It's sad. It's just sad.
See, do you think so?
Oh, that's too funny.
He could be wearing the 360 camera when he has him on, so like we just catch a glimpse of him as he's looking around. Also, we get a glimpse of him in the chats.
Oh my gosh. I don't even want to touch that topic. I'm not even gonna touch that one.
I was gonna say, do you think that Bianca is like a willing participant, or do you think that she just does whatever Kanye tells her to do, whether she wants to or not?
I feel like it's probably close to a 50-50. I feel like she never looks happy in any videos
Hmm.
or pictures or anything I've ever seen her
Yeah.
in since they got together. I've never seen her smile. I genuinely don't know if she's a happy individual and if she purposely, because some people enjoy being miserable. Some people enjoy being uncomfortable. Some people, it's a humiliation kink for them. So I'm not sure if this is something like that for her, if it's some kind of humiliation kink for her. Um, I feel like he probably encourages it and probably hypes her up.
I'm sure he
And
does encourage it without a doubt, but
but she has the final say before she walks out the door on what she is, or in most cases, isn't going to be wearing. And I feel like I don't feel like she's on that. I feel like if she was on that, I feel like she might be wearing a little more clothing, Cougar. I mean, I feel like she's on tranquilizers. Like that's what I think. I feel like she's on tranquilizers or some kind of heavy mood stabilizers or something because she is very monotone and melodramatic. It's very strange to me. And I worry about her in the long run, not because I don't feel like she's going to handle it or anything like that. I just wonder about why she's doing this in the first place. And when
see,
it does come to an end or it doesn't get attention, what's going to happen then?
yeah. See, in the beginning, when she still was wearing clothes, I think it was just he's hyping her up that yeah, you look good, show off some cheeks, whatever, and she's like living the high life, so she's going along with it. But I always wonder now that it's the clothing is becoming less and less and less. Is this still something that she's just like, I want to live this lifestyle and this is what I have to do? Fine, I don't care. I have no problem doing it. Or if she just feels like "Ugh, I have no choice, I have to do it. I don't really want to, but I can't say no. Like I mean, I have no clue. I
It,
hope it is. I hope she is a willing participant. I hope that
yeah.
she's on board with this and she's like, yeah, let's go naked.
Well, see, I've known other women that are kind of similar to her, where they do dress extremely provocatively in their day to day scenarios. And, like there was someone that I knew for a little while, and she would wear on a regular basis when her and her ex husband would go out. She would wear clothing. I I couldn't understand why your husband would be okay with. It's not that allowing you to walk out of the house. I would never say allow you, but I can't understand how her husband would be comfortable with her walking out of the house dressed in so little with so much out,
Yeah.
much less her herself being uncomfortable with all that hanging out. And I feel like at first it started off as it was her idea and it was her thing to do and it made her feel some type of way and probably gave her some kind of power and things. It made her feel sexy. And then after a while, I started noticing it wasn't for her. She was no longer dressing for herself anymore. She was no longer dressing for her benefit. She was now dressing for him and his benefit to keep his gaze on her. And it went from being extremely confident to sad, if that makes sense. It's a very weird thing when you go from dressing to for yourself to for dressing to someone else. I feel like that's what this Beyonce chick's doing now. I feel like she started off dressing for herself, but now
Yeah.
she's just dressing more or less to, and she very well might. He's a millionaire. He's slightly, got his own things going on, and the guy can have a change of mind any second and leave and drop off the face of the earth. So what do you kind of what was she bringing to the relationship?
She worked for his company. she was.
I
I
really
think.
don't know. I have no
Yeah, I forget what she did,
idea.
but like, yeah, I mean, she had a job. She was making money. I
I
mean,
would
obviously, she
assume she
wasn't making this
was.
much money, but
Yeah.
it wasn't like she had nothing.
Oh my god, the comments are crazy. I do not have her number, and I believe she's a lesbian now, so I don't think it matters if I do or not. she's her ex-husband made her gay. Oh god. Yeah, I agree with you, Sir X. That I thought the sundresses things was getting risque as it was. Now we've got Kanye West and his wife naked running around town.
I know. I can't believe
Oh,
that's what she didn't wear, but
as for the indecent exposure thing, I don't know about in California, but in a lot of other states, like in Florida, it's not considered indecent exposure to be topless in the state of Florida. You can
well,
legally be topless in the
yes,
state of Florida as a woman.
yes,
So that might
I
be
know.
something
But
like that.
her bottom bits were out, and is that legal anywhere? I mean, you can't just have your junk hanging out, can you?
I don't know about anywhere. I know there's some rules even for like strip clubs. Like I know the rules out here, down here for that stuff. Like in certain areas you're not allowed to have full nudity. And that includes tea backs. You have to have thongs that have like 3 inches or something. It's something like a couple of inches wide on the top of your underwear. They have to be X amount of width in order for them to be legally acceptable. Lap dance, so I would imagine your lower bits hanging out in public would be considered indecent exposure any way you
That
look at it. But
that's what I'm
those who have
saying.
the
Like
money makes the rules.
you
So I
can't
doubt
have
it
your
really matters.
you can't have your junk out. And I saw that friend that said they got kicked out, but that said they were back in. I think that they made her put her coat on.
I would imagine
She had a full length coat on before, and then she took it off. So I think they made her put her coat on, and then they came back in.
I would imagine that in order for her to even step out of the car like that, he would have, somebody, either that or they had an assistant running around with a stack of cash and were just handing it to everybody to pay him off. Because, I mean, let's be honest, those who have the money make the rules. And if
Yeah.
you have enough money, you can buy your way out of getting into trouble. It has been done numerous times over the years. I don't have to give any examples. Everyone's got one that just popped into their head. Movie star that got into trouble. Think about it. Paid too much money and got away with it. Oh, there you go. And that's pretty much, I guess, I would assume that's probably along that lines of they just bought their way out of an indecent exposure because there's no way, no way. And whoever the designer was, it has to be him. I can't imagine anyone putting their name on that willingly and thinking that's acceptable. Like I said, as someone who deals with fabrics, that's not even what I would consider a fabric. That's a netting. That's
She probably just sewed it herself.
it's just, I mean,
Okay, so I was laughing because Dripple said there's a lot of guys who wanted to measure the width of a thong, and I totally was thinking like, what do you do? Oh yeah, I work for the state. I'm the official thong inspector.
I mean, I've heard stories over the years. I've had some friends do some crazy jobs, so I've heard stories over the years. I don't know how that works out really. I imagine it'd be an interesting job though. I'd be intrigued.
So MILF Man's looking for phone numbers, and Sir X Man is just not impressed. That's what we've learned today. Of course they're blurred. They're not. I mean, people aren't just putting on the
They're
regular
not that
internet the
great.
unblurred photos. You
Listen,
gotta
they're
go to a
not that
special
great.
site for that.
They're not even that great. I'm gonna be honest. It's not even that great. It looks. She looks. She's beautiful. She's absolutely beautiful. But she looks like a plastic surgeon's masterpiece. I mean, let's be honest, she's just a taller Kim Kardashian. Let's be real. She looks similar to his other ex-wife. He very much has a
Yes.
type. She looks just like him, and she dressed like him at first. Just a taller Kim. She's got a taller Kim.
Yeah.
Okay, with that being said, now that we've talked way too much about random things, it is getting late. You all need to go do some things. Red Pool, go back to work.
Most of us are going to bed. Bilfman's going to search the internet.
I hope you
Gotta
find
go
what
find
you're
those
looking
photos.
for. Ew.
I agree. When some people dress like
I,
when you're a certain age, you need to dress your age. Don't dress like a 20-year-old. You look horrendous. Even if you look great, like I don't care. You could have the perfect body. If you're 60 just like a 20-year-old, it just looks pathetic. Like, and you look a lot older than 60 when you do it. I agree.
yeah, sometimes it just gets sad. There's a difference between dressing young and dressing old, and there's things that become inappropriate over time. Not necessarily because you can't pull them off, just because why aren't you wearing, like, I personally cannot wait till I'm really old, because when I get really old, I'm gonna stop wearing a lot of things like jeans. I will never wear another pair of jeans again. Sweatpants, sweat shorts, they will be my best friends.
Oh, see, lucky for me, I'm a slob. In May, no, not May, in January of 2020, I decided I was going to live the comfortable life, and I've worn sweatpants every day since May. Why do I keep saying May? Since January of 2020, I've worn sweatpants every day. I wear sweatpants to work. I work an office job, and I wear sweatpants. No one
Okay.
knows because I'm not wearing like gym class banded bottom sweatpants. They just look like black pants.
Oh no, I want the old gym pants. I
I'm
want
living the
old.
comfortable life, man.
I know. I
I'm just
want
comfortable all day,
old
every
baggy
day.
sweatpants.
It's one of the best decisions I've made. Um, yeah, if I can't wear sweatpants, don't invite me. I'm not going. Unless you invite me to the Wario themed wedding, then I'll get some purple overalls. I'll do it. But other than that, if I can't wear sweatpants, don't invite me.
Oh, it's great. It's great. Well, with that being said, folks, only if the event is sweatpants acceptable will we
Yeah.
show up.
Yes.
And we are going to get going because I keep stretching, and that means I'm going to start yawning soon. So unless y'all want to see me yawn a whole bunch, which those are contagious even on the internet. Okay, I agree with you, Sir X. Women that wear sweatpants, super sexy. Nothing sexier than comfort, my friend. I concur. Okay.
Living my best life.
I can't. I've worn sweatpants for the last 2 months. Can't even argue with that. Best I've ever felt. Sexiest I've ever felt.
And I don't know if my job cares or doesn't care, but they haven't said anything to me. Like I said, when you get close enough, you could tell the material's different. But from a distance, what's the difference between black sweatpants and black dress pants? It's just the
There's no difference.
material that's different. The style is exactly the same. So,
There's no difference.
except I'm just comfortable.
They'd be unhappy if you were wearing hot pants. They'd
Yeah,
probably be
definitely
okay
not.
with that, or spandex. I'm sure they probably wouldn't care about those if you wore leggings all the time. But distracted again. Sidetrack. That's the mayhem. Okay. We're going to get going, guys. Have a wonderful week.
Yes.
We'll see you guys next week. But with that being said, I'm Death Dealer.
And I'm Pink Pickles.
Have a good night, everybody.
All right. Bye, everyone.
So much for the chat. Bye.